Now, following the decision to fine the Enyobeni tavern owners, this decision has been met with mixed reaction. Now, the bosses, of course, were fined 5,000 rand or spent 100 days in prison. They were also found guilty on just one count of selling liquor and, in fact, conniving with employees to sell liquor to underage children. Now, this is a tragedy that drew the spotlight on underage drinking, and there was a lot of concern about how long this had been going on for and, really how widespread is this problem around the country. But let's speak to one of the parents who are quite heavily impacted by this tragedy, and that is Khululekile Ncandana, who is the father of 17-year-old Bhongolwethu Ncandana, who joins us live now. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Firstly, how did you receive the news when you heard of the court's ruling?
Good evening, Bongol, and good evening to you as well. Well, I was disappointed. It was disappointing. Yes, we understood that he was not charged for the death of the children, but for selling alcohol to the underage children, and at the same time allowing them into the establishment. So we were disappointed.
Do you think there should have been harsher punishment? And if so, what would you have, been able to accept?
Well, I think there should have been a harsher punishment so that this does not happen in future. As the prosecution has also said, that at least a minimum sentence will be okay so that this doesn't occur in future, because now in South Africa it's quite happening quite a lot that children under the age of 18 are being sold alcohol in this establishment. So to stop that, I think it was the responsibility of the court to actually try to make harsher sentences. Because now if you look at this, and now the other establishments that are also selling alcohol, no one will learn from this. I mean, because 5,000 rand, and then he was also allowed to pay that in installments or 100 days. I mean, that's a slap in the head for me.
Dada, I wonder for you then, because we do know that a formal inquest is still yet to get underway, but do you conclusively know what caused the death of Bongolwethu?
No, Bongol, I don't conclusively know what was the cause of the death of Bongolwethu. As you are aware that when Department of Health actually issued the cause of the death, nothing was given to us. We were only told that verbally as to what was the cause of the death of Bongolwethu, of which when I was told about that, I rejected that head, that I don't believe that it was the cause of Bongolwethu. It was aspiration. And a lot of things happened on that fateful night. So I believe that probably the inquest will get into the integrity of that, to establish exactly what happened in that fateful night.
Are you confident that that will happen, that process will give you some answers and closure?
Well, I hope. But now after this case was handled the way it was, it makes you doubt if it will come to that. But we will help to give the authorities to do their work. Then we will take it from there. But hopefully we will know exactly what killed our children there. Even in this one, I mean, he was only sentenced for selling alcohol to one underage child. But if you look at the law, it stipulates clearly that the children under the age of 18 are not even allowed in those establishments. There was a witness who was also in that establishment on that night, who was also under 18. But nothing, when the sentence was done, was said about the children being in that establishment who was under the age of 18. So I am not a legal expert, but really, to be honest, I think the sentence was quite not fair to the whole society of South Africa to try and stop the selling of alcohol to the underage children.
And let's stay with that point that you're raising there about, the selling of alcohol to underage children. It is our question tonight, and we are asking the viewers, what do they think should be done in order to deal with this issue of underage drinking once and for all? And I wonder, I mean, you've suffered a great tragedy, but what do you think should be done to deal with this issue once and for all in South Africa?
Well, I think stricter laws should be made in place. The legislature should put laws in place that will make sure that this does not happen, the selling of alcohol to the underage children. Sometimes, to put the laws there and then there are no evaluation of those laws. No one is following up on those laws to see to it that this is happening. I think those are the other things that are happening in our country. I mean, if you look at the law enforcement agencies, you will see the children up and down the streets drinking publicly, but the law enforcement agencies will not do anything about that. So now these establishments will take advantage of that. So they will sell alcohol to the underage children, knowing very well that the law is on their side.
And finally, then, I wonder if you've been able to speak to the couple, because they have, of course, pleaded not guilty. They've, in fact, in their defense as well, they've argued, I'm sure you've heard the case, what they had to say. But have you had any interaction with them? Have they apologized to the families at all?
Well, I didn't have any interaction with them, but they say it clearly that they won't apologize because they claim that they didn't kill the children. No one said that they killed the children, but we all know that, I know that if you own an establishment, whatever happened into your establishment, you need to take full responsibility of that. So they say it loud and clear that they won't apologize. So that on its own, it shows that they don't care about what has happened to other children. You can imagine themselves. The magistrate have also mentioned that when you were sentencing them, that they are parents. They have young children as well. And as a parent, when things like that happen, you take into consideration your own children. So they never apologize about that.
All right, Mr. Ncandana, thank you so much for your time this evening. I know it's still a difficult matter to talk about, but let's see then when that inquest gets underway and what will be your thoughts around that. Do appreciate your time. That was Khululekile Ncandana, who's the father of 17-year-old Bongolwethu Ncandana, who died in the Enyobeni tavern tragedy.